Hi everyone, good day. So this is Giovanni and welcome to Grammar Class 101. Today I'll discuss to you guys how to determine independent clause and subordinate clause. Let's go. Independent clause is complete sentence. Guys, remember this is a complete sentence, meaning it is composed of a group of words that has a complete thought or idea. While subordinate clause, this is a phrase that is introduced by a relative pronoun. So our indicators in here are relative pronouns, such as that, which, who, whom, and whose. So these are relative pronouns. So try to take a look in these examples. So example number 1. Kiko owned the chicken that won in the cockpit. So in here, guys, we have two clauses. The first one is the independent, meaning it can stand alone. And the second one is the subordinate, or what we call dependent clause. So I'd like to emphasize in here that Kiko owned the chicken. This one. So I'll mark it so that it becomes clear. Kiko owned the chicken. Okay. This first clause is our independent clause because it is a complete sentence. It has a subject, Kiko, and owned the chicken, the predicate, verb. So a complete sentence. It's just a simple sentence. Kiko owned the chicken. While in the second phrase, or what we call subordinate clause, it starts from here and then go in here. That won in the cockpit. Why? Because there is the presence of relative pronoun that. This one. That. So that won in the cockpit is our subordinate clause. So easy to determine actually. And second, we have the chickens were scratching the seeds which we just bought. So in here, two clauses. The first one is the independent clause. The chickens were scratching the seeds. This is our independent, meaning the sentences can stand alone and start from this relative pronoun until here, is our subordinate or dependent, meaning it cannot stand alone because it must need a independent to complete the thought or idea. So that's it. Then, next examples. Mr. Cruz is the businessman who operated a large egg farm. So I think you have now the idea how to determine the independent and subordinate. So let me answer. The underline is, or the encircle words or sentence is our independent. Mr. Cruz is the businessman. So remember guys, that when we say independent, we can put a period after the sentence because it's a simple sentence. Mr. Cruz is the businessman, period. So independent. While in here, who operated the large egg farm, it is lacking. So it becomes now the subordinate, the dependent. And again, it has the presence of who, the relative pronoun. So, third, example. The chief was the barrio philosopher whom we asked for advice. So in here, guys, very clear that, that the chief was the barrio philosopher. It's our independent. and whom we ask for advice is the subordinate clause, because again there is that whom, the relative pronoun. So that's it. Last example is my brother visited his friend whose store is just around the corner. So in here it's very clear, guys, that our independent, my brother visited his friend is our independent, and whose store is just around the corner is our dependent or subordinate clause. So again, because there is that relative pronoun. So actually, guys, it's very easy to understand or to determine, to differentiate the independent and the subordinate clause, because we have these indicators or pattern, because sometimes we see or understand the language because of its pattern. So guys, I hope you have learned something in this video, and I hope you enjoy watching this video. Thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe if you are new in this channel. Yes, thank you, and see you in my next video. Mabuhay Mindanao.